All right, family. We are back in the building. We are back into the building, family. Y'all get with me today. We got to ask some real serious questions. We're going to start asking some real serious questions about this coronavirus, family. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all ask questions. Y'all come on into the building. And also make sure that you invite some loved ones into the building so we can finish chopping this thing up. This is the trivia. We're going to ask some coronavirus questions. We're going to ask some real questions today, family. Y'all get your questions right. Come on into the chat room and give me the thumbs up when you come into the chat room. This is Urban Matters live chat. And y'all say congratulations on my granddad again today. I had another beautiful granddaughter born today, Miss Riley Ray Hughes. I like to slip the Riley Ray Johnson Hughes in there. Yes, 7 pounds, 5 ounces. So y'all come on. Better come on and let's talk about this thing, man. Y'all, please, I'm just sending out a couple of more invites. Sending out another couple of more invites real quick. Y'all make sure y'all share this video with the loved ones, family. Please share this video with the loved ones because we want everybody to get in on this conversation today. We want everybody to get in on this conversation today. And also, just a real quick disclaimer. This live chat is for like people that are like, real hard thinkers, people that like to ask questions. If you're not the kind of person that likes to ask questions, this is probably not the live talk for you. So I would strongly suggest you go ahead and sign off right now. If you're not like intellectually thinking and you don't really think on an intellectual level, you might want to sign out right now because we talk about some heavy topics here. And if you're not like the intellectual mindset, you might get a little frail or afraid when we talk about some of the subjects we talk about here, because I mean, they get a little controversial sometimes. And some of us, if somebody can't be nice with us and be polite and politically polite and all of that, sometimes people, they get in their feelings, so that's just the real, man. I don't know how else to give it to you. And I know a lot of people, you come in, you click on the video, and it's not what you want to hear. You want to, and I'm not being, listen, family, I'm not trying to be, degrading or anything when I say this. But you would rather go and put your head back in the sand. What's going on, Miss Collins? Thanks for joining us. Mr. Sanchez, thanks for joining us today here at Urban Matters Live Chat. Urban Matters Live Chat. We're talking about this coronavirus, and I just want to ask a few questions, y'all. If y'all want me to start out asking the questions, I'll ask you a few questions that it's some questions that I got, they just cannot be answered and it doesn't make sense. Can I ask my question real quick? Y'all give me the thumbs up when you come into the house. And we're going to talk about this thing. We're going to chop this thing up, man. We got the jam playing in the background. Y'all make sure y'all like and share the video. I'm still sending out some more like and shares. And y'all come on into the chat room. I want to talk about this thing, man. Listen, the thing that I'm noticing, Scarface came out today. Scarface, y'all know our brother Scarface, from the Ghetto Boys. He came out saying that he has the coronavirus. he has the coronavirus. Our brother Scarface. Also, our brother, what his name's Slim Thug. That's another brother from Texas. He says that he has the coronavirus. And this is my thing. This is what I want to point out to us, family. This is the thing that I want to try to point out to us real quick. Seems like I'm noticing only entertainers, athletes, athletes are catching the virus. Hollywood people, politicians. The Prince came out. Prince Charles came out from the royal family. Prince Charles came out and said that he has the coronavirus. So I'm kind of noticing a pattern, like entertainers, Hollywood people. I'm noticing sports guys are some of our sports communities, and a bunch of our brothers are in the sport community. And I'm noticing a pattern of the only people that are being reported with the coronavirus are either politicians, entertainers. Y'all give me the thumbs up, please, when you come into the room. Please, when you come into the chat room. Hello, family. Happy Friday. This is Urban Matter Live Chat. And we're asking this. The name of our show today is called Coronavirus Trivia. We're asking some trivial questions about the coronavirus. And I've been asking my wife these questions, man. I don't know, I've probably been driving her crazy. We're in here hunkered down. Everybody's quarantining and whatnot. So my question is, family, my question is, I want to know, why is it only entertainers and popular people getting the coronavirus? Everybody say, oh, I know. Yeah, this lady I used to work with, and she said that her mama got it, this and that. Yeah, but did you hear it from her mother's mouth? Did you hear it from the horse's mouth that they are contracted with the coronavirus? Where is the evidence? And then I'm gonna point out I'm gonna point out something real quick to you again, family, that's so convenient right now. You can't even have a funeral for your loved one if they allegedly pass away from the coronavirus. You can't even have your family member's corpse. So I just want to know if anybody in here knows somebody personally. You seen the medical records, or you seen for a fact they had that the sheriff came to their house and made them go in quarantine. You're hearing a lot of stories, but no real proof or evidence. So that's my question. And if y'all got some questions, family, we're giving you a chance to ask some questions right now. Oh yeah, another question I wanted to ask was, and it seems like also conveniently all these entertainers and whatnot that are coming down with the coronavirus and they're going public with it, they don't really have symptoms. You don't see like the red swollen eyes. You don't hear them breathing hard. You don't hear any of this. And let me remind you again, family, there is a U.S. patent on the coronavirus virus. They have it in a laboratory where they've actually built and recorded a patent on that particular COVID-19 virus. Look it up. If you don't believe me, look in the Centers of Disease Control and see, is it a U.S. patented disease? Come on, y'all. Give me some questions. Thanks for joining us, Ms. Johnson. We thank you for joining us here at Urban Matter Live Chat. And we just asking some questions, man. We got to start asking some real serious questions. Also, I posted in the article. Okay, Miss Gray, thanks for joining us. I see your question, Miss Gray. Miss Gray says nobody does not have it until they inject it. Oh, so that's how it goes down, huh, Miss Gray? You got to get it injected into you, huh? Thanks for joining us today, Mr. Boswell. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about this coronavirus, this COVID-19, this seems that I don't know anyone personally. I mean, listen, I got family members just about in every state, family. And I've been calling my family members to check on them. And so I just always ask a question. I say, hey, do you like know somebody personally that you work with that literally has the virus? And so one of these girls, she came out the other day and said she was just doing a hoax. She wanted attention, and she basically said that she had the virus, and then she had to come back and go public again to say that it was just a joke. I don't know anybody personally that has the virus. I've never seen it firsthand. And not that I want to or anything, but I'm just saying, like, why is not the average person like me and you or you and I, why are we not coming down with the virus or know anybody like us coming down with the virus? That we can literally, listen, with all the technology we have right now, don't you know we probably have been came across somebody that we know, one of our loved ones, that's in there talking about, you know, hey man, this for real, I can't breathe. Not an entertainer, not an actor, not a Hollywood person, a mogul, not a politician who's already corrupt, who's probably, and if you don't know this, family, if I pay attention to the stock market, and I'm just going to give you my personal opinion. This virus came so conveniently at the time when the stock market and the US dollar was collapsing. I know you're not paying attention to it. I got into it with one of my brothers last night, and we was going back and forth about some of these corporations. And one of these particular corporations that Trump is getting ready, and the Senates and the Republicans and Democrats are getting ready to bail out. One of these major companies, old company, and I just go ahead and tell you the name of the company. It's called Boeing. And you know, Boeing, they were the makers of the 737 MAX 8 jet, the one that kept crashing, and they took it out of service. And now this particular buddy of mine, he works for them, and he's telling me, oh man, they got plenty of money. Well, if they got plenty of money, I sent him about 6 different articles to show him that these people about to file bankrupts, and they almost filed Chapter 11 a couple of months ago. They are literally broke, family. So at the same time, we live in check to check. A lot of these people who we got trust in to feed our families and give us a 9-to-5 job, these people live in check to check. These corporations are living check to check. How you doing, Miss Smith? Thanks for joining us today. Miss Gray. Miss Gray has another question. She says, this is a large game, bigger than Trump. It's way bigger than Trump, y'all. I keep telling y'all that. Listen, I'm a country boy, right? So sometimes we were young, we would go, you know, out in the woods, and we would hunt down cottontails. You know what a cottontail rabbit is, and we liked them. We would, you know, just for fun, we would, you know, take them home, clean them up, throw them on the grill, eat him. You know, put him over a fire and roast him. You know, put some seasoning on it. Go ahead and clean it up real good. You know, make sure you put your vinegar and everything on there and soak it. And but sometimes the rabbits would get caught in a hole. And man, you would try to get down there and get that rabbit. That rabbit hole would be so deep. So what Miss Gray is saying right now, the rabbit hole is really, really deep. We just don't understand how deep this thing is, this whole coronavirus. And listen, family, the information that I'm telling you, listen, there's a lot of people don't want me to tell you this kind of information. They don't want us to even have these type of discussions. But you know what? This is the new black media. So we're doing things our way. We're doing things our way. This is the new black media. This is Urban Matter Live Chat. And we're coming to you on Friday, y'all. We're going to chop this thing up. Y'all, please give me some questions. Please get interactive with me. I love it. I love when we can chop up facts, because this is a live chat, and we don't get in our feelings. Did anybody see the article I posted on the group chat, on the group site, Urban Matters group? And I like to post a lot of political leaders that I think really have instituted a foundation for us when it comes to political matters. These little wannabe political people, and I hate some people want to get mad when I say this, man. Obama, that guy was not a political leader for black folks, man, or even just the underprivileged folks. You know, and we got to stop thinking that these Democrats are for us, man. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden still has not came out and admitted that he would seriously consider reparations for foundational black Americans. So like I say, man, we here chopping this thing up, and y'all get with me, man, because I wanna hear what it is, man. I want to hear what it is, man. We got to talk about this thing. It's a lot of unanswered questions, you know what I'm saying? That's out there, man. Come on, we're gonna crank up some jams for y'all. We're gonna talk about this thing today. I got time today. Come on. Let's chop this up. Come on now. Y'all give me some questions, family. Y'all in the chat room. I see y'all in here. Okay, Mr. Sanchez say, all right, bet I'm gonna step up to the plate. Mr. Sanchez says, did you see Bill Gates acting like he does not understand the spread of the virus? Right. Yeah, they said that I heard that Bill Gates knows a lot about this virus, and he actually predicted it in I think it was 2011 or 2014, one of those years. You're absolutely right. Thanks for that comment, Mr. Sanchez. Miss Gray says he's not going. Okay, Miss Gray says he's not going to because it would cost him. There you go. There go your answer right there, Mr. Sanchez. So I mean, look at, man, this listen. Thanks for joining us, Miss Watson Williams. This is the live chat, family, where you can speak about what you need to speak about. Please give me the thumbs up when you come in the chat room, and please make sure that you share this video with your family, because we have a lot of interesting information here, family. And I just want to go over real quick an article from the New York Times that I posted in the information here in the heading of the video. So if you want to go back on your leisure time and go check out this article, it was just one article, because right now also your stock market went down again about 900 points, family. But the name of this article is the 5 key things in the $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus plan. So this your check right here, family. They talking about your check. If you in the chat room and you waiting on that check, please put your hands up by giving me the thumbs up. If you liking that, please give me the thumbs up. Please give me the thumbs up. Please give me the thumbs up, family, if you waiting on that check from the stimulus plan. Well, here goes some information. You might want to pay attention to this real quick so I can chop this up for you. Okay. The largest economic stimulus measure in the modern history would authorize direct payments to taxpayers and loans to small businesses and create a $500 billion corporate bailout plan. A corporate bailout. So they basically doing another bailout, y'all, off of the taxpayers. This is why Nancy Pelosi and all of them coming. Oh, we want to look out for the middle class, and we want to look out for the working people. And okay, here you go. Here go 1,000 pennies. Oh, here go $1,000. Man, $1,000. Man, listen, bro, I go through $1,000 in 2 days, bro, when I pay some of my bills. So I'm just chopping this up with y'all, man. I mean, are y'all paying attention to this, man? Are you really paying attention to this? Trump administration and officials. Hold on. I got you right here, family. Trump's administration officials and top Democrats finalized an agreement early Wednesday morning on roughly a $2 trillion rescue package to confront the coronavirus pandemic, the largest economic stimulus measure in modern history. And let me explain something to you real quick, family. A pandemic is when 1 million or so people have died within a specific timeline. Okay. After days of partisan bickering and closed-door haggling, negotiators emerged from their final huddle and announced that they had struck a deal to send the relief to workers, businesses, and hospitals devastated by the pandemic and economic disruption it caused. The Senate is expected to pass the demand of the bill. Okay, now the Senate came together today. They passed the bill. They passed the bill last night. Then the House came together. They voted on it, and they sent it to Trump desk. As soon as it hit Trump desk, Trump signed the bill, y'all. Okay, the government will send direct payments to taxpayers. That's you. That's you, family. The government will send direct payments to taxpayers. Lawmakers agreed to provide $1,200 in direct payments to taxpayers with incomes up to $75,000 per year before starting to phase out and ending altogether for those earning more than $99,000. Families will receive an additional $500 per child in an attempt to create a safety net for those whose jobs and businesses are affected by a pandemic. Now, I'm definitely keep it real with y'all. Once you accept this money, you're literally co-signing they BS for not being prepared for a pandemic. You're also giving them the forgiveness for allowing the corporations that we go in and clock in every day for. You're allowing these people to literally run businesses and continuously getting bailed out. We're talking about GM. We're talking about Disney World. You notice all these CEOs are stepping down. GE, General Electric, Boeing Jets. Also, you're talking the military contractors. Come on, family, wake up. Miss Gray, we see you. Miss Dixon, thanks for joining us. Miss Sanchez says thumb down. Okay, Miss Hughes, thanks for joining us today. Okay, Miss Gray says, I don't want it. It's going to cost you more in the end. Exactly right. And that's what I was just trying to explain right here. Unemployment benefits will grow substantially and go to many more Americans. So lawmakers agreed to a significant expansion of the unemployment benefits. So they're trying to expand your unemployment insurance for an additional 13 weeks. Family, it's too little too late. It is too little too late. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe Jedi mind trick. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. I just got a great article somebody just sent me just now. Listen, family, we gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. Okay, I'm reading this here real quick article somebody just sent me. Listen, the stimulus check is baloney. I'm telling you, it's just a distraction to keep you distracted from what's really happening, like Miss Gray just said. Also, yes, they're bailing out the cruise ships, and that's not even registered in America. Exactly. The cruise liners, like your Carnival Cruise Lines, your Royal Caribbean, these people are not even American businesses. They're not registered through our registry, our business registry here in the United States. Thank you for that comment, Ms. Gray. That's definitely, and that is a fact. I can back Ms. Gray up on that because I read that earlier this week, that the cruise lines are not even American businesses. So they have no reason being bailed out. The reason why Trump is getting them that money, if you pay attention, two of the biggest cruise ships that comes through the American waters, they station one in California and they station one in New York. And those are going to be your centers for disease control. This is where the outbreak is going to happen. And they're going to, if this virus does have some type of bearing to it and is factual, they're going to start loading people on them ships and you're going to see people disappear. Population control, bam, just like that. So yeah, man, we just talking about this thing, you know. I mean, man, I'm asking a lot. I ask y'all anybody answer the questions that I ask, please. I ask you, do you know anybody personally that has the virus? Now, we have loved ones and kin people all over America. We have kin people all over America. And I don't personally know one person that I know. I'm talking about somebody personally that I know that has contracted the virus or has died from the virus. None of my family know anybody. I got family in Mississippi, Carolinas, Charlotte, Atlanta. I got Georgia. I got people in Alabama. I got people in California. I got people in Indiana, Illinois. I got people New York, Jersey. In Jersey and New York, they say this is one of the biggest epicenters for the virus. And I got my cousin on the phone today from New Jersey. She was like, yeah, well, I know this one lady. She said her auntie or her mama got the virus. Yeah, but did you talk to the auntie or did you talk to the mama? No, it's all hearsay. It's all hearsay, man. And let's think about it now. Everybody's saying that, hey, man, this thing is pretty much literally like a common cold. And if your immune system is intact and you have a strong immune system, you should be able to fight this disease off. Now they're talking about don't buy Advil. Oh my God, man. It's like the madness never stops. It's just, it don't make sense. And then they can't give you no answers. They can't give you any answers. Thanks for joining us today, Mr. Johnson. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Red. Thanks for joining us, Ms. Brown. We're asking questions. This is the coronavirus trivia. Ask a question about the coronavirus that does not make sense to you. And it's just a question that's been like it's just been aggravating you in the back of your mind. And you just want to ask that question today. Well, this is your platform right now to ask this question so your question can be heard so we can get the answers out to our people. Thank you, Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith said, you know, everyone that died now, it is from the virus. Correct. And it's so convenient, right? Thanks for that comment, Ms. Smith. But I'm gonna piggyback off Ms. Smith's comment. Seems like they say, oh, people that's dying already had underlying, they're more susceptible to die, or they're in a higher risk to die because they already had underlying conditions. Of course. Well, maybe they died from the underlying conditions. Maybe they didn't die from the virus. That's just my personal opinion. Why y'all, they're piggybacking off of people that's already sick or older people who are about to die anyway. Our elders, our grandmothers and grandfathers, and we love our people, but we need answers. We need answers, man. And though it's not Trump's fault, y'all stop blaming all this on Trump. This is over Trump pay grade. This thing is global. So you mean to tell me Trump responsible supposedly for China and them having the virus? Is Trump responsible for India and the UK and in Europe? Come on. Come on, black family. Get out your feelings. Listen, we know we've been marginalized and discriminated on here in America for 600 years. And you know why things ain't changing? Things is not changing because we sat right here and let these people sign a $2 trillion doggone stimulus plan, and we didn't say nothing about stimulating the black communities who have been underlying, marginalized, racialized, beat down, targeted, and we didn't even say, hey, we deserve reparations just like the Jewish community does. We deserve reparations just like our Cubans down in Miami. If you go to Miami, the whole Miami ran by Cubans. That comes for reparations. That comes from because the government has intervened and economically blessed these people. What about the Indians? They got all the casinos, Seminole, Hard Rock Casino, Hard Rock Casino. What do you think that is? Those people are rich now because of the U.S. government. The U.S. government corrected and wronged off and righted all their wrongs that they caused these cultures and these civilizations. And they raped and pillaged and they gave back to every single person, the Japanese for dropping the bomb, the Hiroshima bomb on Hiroshima, the atom bomb. That's why the Japanese, that's why they winning right now. Even your Latino communities, they winning. The only people are not winning, and I hate to say it, man, because y'all get mad at me. And then you want to, he just making up stuff, man. He just trying to it's all about all us. If it's all about all us, then why are we still suffering more than any other group here in America? Why is it more African Americans in the prison system, the prison industrial system? Why? You tell me why. If everything is evil and equal and normal, why are we suffering the most then? And most of our people in our culture, we hold most of the education degrees, PhDs and masters. No other culture in America has more college degrees than the black culture. And we still losing. Explain that to me. That's because you're going out here and you're voting for people because they look like you, or you're being shamed into voting because, your ancestors fought for it. They fought for it, but look, we still ain't got it. We still have not gotten it. Go look at the Dred Scott decision of the Supreme Court. Dred Scott was a runaway slave. He ran with the Florida State slave up there, Chief Osceola, the guy with the arrow, your Florida State mascot, your Florida State Seminoles mascot. Yes, he ran with Dred Scott, and Andrew Jackson was the president at that time. I think it was in the 1800s, maybe the 1880s or something like that. And they literally sent the U.S. cavalry to hunt down every single Seminole, which was a black man. Seminoles were blacks. All Seminole means, if you break down the etymology of the word, the definition of Seminole was runaway slave or a slave that was a rebel. That's why they put the stripes on and they get rebelized with it. And that's all the Seminoles is, y'all. Florida State Seminoles that right now that y'all ride for. Them was black folks. Check it out if you think I'm lying. Go do the facts on it. He ran with Chief Osceola. His name is Dred Scott. Dred Scott. The Dred Scott decision right now is still on the Supreme Court dockets. Dred Scott fought the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court would not overrule the fact that black slaves and black people here in America were considered property. You were considered 3/5 of a human being. And it's still right now on the Supreme Court dockets. And they don't want to hear the case anymore. And this was since the 1800s. That's why you're being undermined. That's why you're being underlined. Maxine Waters not coming out talking about this. Ocasio-Cortez, she won't want to talk about it. Cory Booker, them, they don't want to talk about it. Sheila Lee Jackson from Texas, she don't want to talk about it. Al Green, a senator of Texas, he don't want to talk about it. John Lewis, who always talking about how he got his ass whooped on Selma Bridge, he don't want to talk about it. All he want to talk about is that ass whooping every time he get on the microphone. When you talk about an ass whooping all the time, that just show weakness. That's code word for you bowing down to the dominant society. Seminoles are black people. Yes, Mr. Johnson. Thanks for that. Go look it up. Dred Scott decision. Dred Scott versus the Supreme Court. Go look it up. Dred Scott was a Seminole Indian and ran with Chief Osceola of Florida State University. He helped them fight against the cavalry with Andrew Jackson. That's why if you go down Florida, you can go to a lot of different cities they call Fort this and they call Fort that. You got Fort Meade, Fort Green Springs. You got a Fort Pierce, Fort Although. Anytime you see Fort on the front of a city's name, that's where a battle took place. That is where a battle took place. St. Augustine, all of that. You go to St. Augustine right now, they still got the cannons on the coastline because Florida back then was belonged to the Spaniards, Ponce de Leon and all the Spanish armadas out of Spain, Europe, and they came here and they settled here first. And then you go farther west to Louisiana and Pensacola and those areas. The French own that. That's why you had that's why they talk French. That's why you got your Creole culture in Louisiana and New Orleans. And the French own that. And so we bought that in the Louisiana Purchase. Who remembers that in history class? The Louisiana Purchase. That's when America bought some of the southern states, Alabama, Biloxi, all of that, Mississippi, New Orleans. They bought that from the French. But back then, the Underground Railroad was Florida. A lot of times they made you think Harriet Tubman and all of them were sending people up north. No, the Underground Railroad was down here in Florida because you was free in Florida because the U.S. cavalries and the U.S. government had not owned or purchased the state of Florida yet. So Florida was a place where slaves had refuge at and they could seek refuge. I'm just chopping the facts up with your family. Okay, Thad, thanks for joining us. They gave us 40 acres and that mules that shut us up. I don't even think they gave us the 40 acres and the mule. Listen, if you go look at 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the riots of Tulsa, Oklahoma. 1921, the riots of Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is where our U.S. military committed the first terrorist act of terrorism in America. It wasn't a trade center airplane running into the trade centers. That was not the first time America was attacked by terrorists. The first time America was attacked by terrorists was 1921, where the U.S. military attacked and dropped bombs out of little crop duster airplanes on a black community that had their banks, they had their own railroads, they had their own grocery stores, they had their own educational colleges, they had their own everything. And the U.S. government knew that blacks had too much power back then because they owned too much. They had too much land. They had over 16 million acres of land, y'all, back in the 20s. Black people own that kind of stuff. So let's get back to this virus, y'all. We don't want to get too far off track. Mr. Johnson says, whatever. What I've never understood is how can you discover some place where somebody already lives? Correct. They didn't. Exactly. Ms. Gray says they didn't. They didn't. Because you had people here when Christopher Columbus got here, you had black people like, man, who are these fools right here coming up halfway butt naked, starving, bringing all kind of sickness, smallpox on the land, bringing all kind of stuff like chicken pox and the plague and all of that, the bubonic plague and all that. And over there in Europe during the Dark Ages, they were starving, man. They didn't know how to farm. They didn't learn how to farm. See, they told us that Plymouth Rock story wrong. Just like Malcolm X say, Christopher Columbus, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. They landed on us. Yes. Okay, Mr. Gwynn say, go check out the movie called The Banker. He said that's a good movie. Thanks for that, Mr. Gwynn. Thanks for joining us today here at Urban Matters Live Chat. And we just chopping this thing up, man. I just want to know, family. I mean, ask some questions, man, about this coronavirus, y'all. Please ask some questions about this. Excuse me. We got to start asking some serious questions, man. I mean, we got to ask some serious questions. There's a lot of questions out here, a lot of stuff that don't make sense, man. A lot of stuff does not make sense. They brought scurvy to this country too. Yes, they did. Okay, y'all, let's get back to this coronavirus, though. Thanks for that comment, Mr. Johnson. They brought a lot of stuff to this land. And see what it is now, this payback time, y'all. The elders and the ancestors have awakened. And they put this plague on the land. And the plague gonna stay on the land until the dominant society goes back and right all the wrongs that they committed on the Creator's true people. And that's us, y'all. And until we get what we deserve, the plague is going to stay on this land, y'all. I guarantee you coronavirus is going to be a yearly thing. I guarantee you it's going to be around just like the flu. And technically, that's all it is, the flu. It's just a mutated form of the flu. It's a mutated form of the flu. I cannot keep reiterating that. It is a mutated form of the flu. If you take care of your immune system, you make sure you get your vitamins A, B, and C, eat green leafy vegetables, make sure you stay on some. You remember that stuff they had back in the days? Your grandma used to give you that what was they call it? The brown stuff. It came in the brown bottle. You could pick it up right at the apothecary shop. I remember my grandma used to always get it. Castor oil. It's called castor oil. They don't even sell that stuff no more because it worked too good. The doctors couldn't make any money as long as that stuff was on the shelves. Yes, Ms. Gray says reaping season is in full effect. Yes. Yeah, you reap what you sow. Exactly. Thank you for that comment, Ms. Gray. You reap what you sow. And you got to go back and make things right, man. When you hurt people and you wrong people, man, you got to go back and make that right. You have to go back and make that right, y'all. Yes. Father John, too. I remember that, too. Yeah, Mrs. Sanchez. Thanks for that. Yeah, that Father John's, it was a syrup. It was like a cough syrup slash for viruses. It would kill viruses. That castor oil and that Father John, man, that stuff killed everything. Grandma, I don't care what you had, man. Chicken pot, whatever. Your grandma can give you that stuff, man. Next thing you know, the next day, man, you all fine, man. See, they had over the counter remedies like that. That's why the big mama on the slave plantation, she was always the most important slave that the master looked after. Yes. Ms. Smith says CDC doctor already said that the virus will be here just like the flu. Yes, ma'am. It will be here just like the flu every year. This is a new thing, y'all. I'm telling y'all, when things get tough and they need to create a distraction, like they're creating a distraction for these stock markets. These stock markets are about to collapse, y'all. I'm just giving it to you real, man. That's all that's going on, family. The stock markets and your banks are about to collapse. Go and take your money out of the bank and make sure you go and purchase gold and silver because the American dollar is going to go down the toilet. It won't even be good enough to whop your behind with. It's all it is a piece of paper anyway, piece of cloth. That's all it is. Yes. Mr. Gwynn said they're going to start back the draft. They might start back. Ain't no telling. But, man, y'all think about it, man. How is this thing affecting our loved ones and our citizens that are homeless? What about the homeless? What about our soldiers over there across seas? I heard some of them allegedly have caught the coronavirus. Yes. What about those folks? What about our hospital workers and all of them that are contracting the virus? Mr. Johnson said the coronavirus is doctored up distraction. I think so, because it's just conveniently seems like all your major corporations are going down. At least 2,000 CEOs of major companies here in America have stepped down within the last year. And that's the same exact activity that was going on right before the Trade Center Twin Tower attack. A lot of CEOs start stepping down and they start cashing in. And y'all remember last week now, let's not forget, most of the senators were taking their 401ks and cashing them in. And I was on a chat line the other night, y'all. I had at least 40 people that I personally know say that they went and looked at their 401k and their retirement, and the thing was almost gone. It was no money in their 401ks and retirements, y'all. They pulling a fast one, y'all. Y'all go and please check your 401ks. Go check your portfolios right now, your retirement portfolios. I'm telling you, y'all, they have done what they call a bank run. They have taken your hard-earned retirement and have pissed it away. Yes, they have pissed it away. If you think I'm lying, please go look it up. I've had at least one young lady say she lost 15 grand in 3 days when the stock market collapsed a little bit last week. It's collapsing, y'all. America, as you know it, is over. Ain't no more. You're going to be homeschooling your kids. You're going to be working from home. This is permanent. That's just my opinion. I think it's going to be permanent, y'all. I don't think nothing's going to be left of America. And I bet you worst case scenario, they're going to get ready to start a literal war, an all-out war, a war. Because this happened around a complete country. And I meant to say the complete world. Right now, every government is broke. Every corporation has went out of business around the world, the globe, not just America, the entire globe. And CNN and MSNBC, they're not going to tell you this. You must go outside of the box and go and get your information. I repeat, you must go outside the box and go and get your information, family. Please, please do this for me. Miss Gray says, if you pay attention to the foreign boils against you already know the dollar is not worth what it used to be. It's not. It's losing value every day, y'all. It's already based off of nothing anyway. That's why the dollar is destined to collapse, because there's nothing backing it. We have no precious resources of this land that we can say, oh, this backing the dollar bill. We got this. We have this. We'll never go broke. It's paper, y'all. Mr. Rito say they knew about it last year and pulled out. Yes, they knew. Those CEOs and those senators, they knew what was coming, y'all. This stuff was planned, y'all. Don't make them think. Don't let them for a minute have you thinking that this thing just popped up out of nowhere, man. This thing was designed and it was planned. Mr. Johnson says, brother, CEO of the company I work for stepped down from her own company 4 months ago. See what I'm saying? Okay, Miss Smith right here, she say my 401k look horrible right now. Family, we have been taken for a dang on fool. A fast one has been put, and when America wake up, the reason why they trying to get this money, y'all, they trying to send you these stimulus checks because they know they done effed up. And they know that America's not going to take it good. So if they give you that little money, they was like, well, look, man, we looked out for you, man. We sent y'all a little bit of change, man. Ain't like we just ain't think about nobody. They literally going to like talk noise to you. And that's how it's going to go down. That's how it's going to go down, y'all. Go check your 401ks. My cousin called me today. She said her 401k gone, cuz. She in the military and everything. She a military veteran. And they hit her. They're not discriminating, because what y'all got to understand is that the Queen of England and the royal family, they have a bond on your social security number. And listen to what I just said, your social security. So this is what socially secures you, is that number. That's why socialism and the stuff that the Democrats push is garbage. And we know that the Republicans are garbage. Just because I point out the Democrats, y'all, does not mean I love the Republicans. I care for neither one of them. I feel like our people need their own political party, and we need to design and develop it so that it benefits us first, and then we can help everybody else out. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Miss Gray says they are preparing to stop you from traveling without certificate or treatment of the virus. Right. Like if you don't go take this vaccine, y'all, I heard that too on the article. If you don't take the vaccine, thanks for that, Miss Gray, you can't even go nowhere. That's why they're quarantining people. They say, oh, well, you got to stay here for 15 days until we find out. Bro, and then if you don't take that virus that they give you, they keep you contained in those containment camps, wherever they containing people at. Yes. Mr. Sanchez says, thanks for that comment, Miss Gray. Mr. Sanchez says, thanks for the information. Mr. Sanchez says, this is the deflection to put the one world order in effect. Yes, sir. That's absolutely right. Thank you for that, Mr. Sanchez. You're absolutely right. That's why we're going under one currency. If you go back and read that bill, that $1 trillion stimulus bill that they just signed off, Trump just signed today, if you go into it and look into the fine prints, it shows you where America's going to get ready to switch everything over to what they call a digital currency, a digitized currency. You're going to have digital wallets. This is how they're going to send y'all money, y'all. You're not going to get an actual check. They're going to send you like these little digitized cards. And then from that next step, you hear Nancy Pelosi say, okay, now we're going to come out with the next phase of the stimulus. She said, we're coming out with that in about a month or two. She said, through that, you're going to start receiving these little chips, kind of like the Apple Pay. They're going to put a chip right here in your wrist. And when you go up to a register or you pass through a state, they know exactly where you are because this thing is GPS located. And so they know exactly where you are. And it sounds familiar like one of our Bible stories, right? Mark of the Beast, huh? Okay. Mr. Johnson says, I filed my income tax on January 29th and it's still pending. Absolutely, because they're getting ready to shut the IRS down. I heard this about a year ago, y'all. They're shutting the IRS down, period. The IRS would no longer exist. A lot of stuff is about to change. America, as you know it, family, is about to change. That's why it's your time to get your bag and stand up on your own 2 feet and say, look, man, we need this. We need this. And we can't get this, we finna act the fool. Because we've been marginalized too long, man. We've been undermined too long. And we've just been this despaired. I can't take it no more, y'all. Election time. Yes, sir, Mr. Riddle. Thanks for that. It's election time. And Trump say he'll stop the election if they don't get a hold on this coronavirus. You notice he keep calling it the Chinese virus too. Or the Wuhan virus. Trump would not call it no corona. Listen, the man is the president. The man got insight and information on things that we don't have. So don't think that man just being stupid. Let me tell y'all something, man. That man ain't stupid. That man a million. I ain't never met no stupid millionaires or billionaires. I never met one. And I be around a lot of them. Yes, Miss Laura says, so you mean I have to stay in Maryland? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They're going to change a lot, man. You can't even travel. My brother right now, he's stuck in New Orleans. He can't even get home. He's been in New Orleans for about 2 weeks now. And you know, they say New Orleans is one of the epicenters up there, y'all. Okay, thanks for joining us, Miss Cox. Thank you, Miss Lloyd, for that comment. And we'll get some information for you, too, on that, Miss Lloyd. We'll get back to you on that information about Maryland. Mr. Johnson says, it's time for us to unite. Yes, sir. And you notice, y'all, if you're paying attention to what's really happening as far as us coming together as a collective group with families, it seems like you're being forced in a blessed way to be more family oriented now. The kids are going outside playing and exercising, and families are getting out and eating dinner together, and they're putting down some of the technology, because eventually, if you hold that technology in your hand too long, you'll start getting bored and you'll be like, man, let me put this junk down, man. I've been on this junk too long. And you start to wake up. And that's what I think this virus is making us do. You know, it's kind of like an undercover blessing in a way, y'all. It's people waking up, man. But you got to ask some real serious questions about this thing. I have not met anybody or heard from anybody, I'm talking about like it not being through somebody else's mouth. Thanks for joining us, Ms. Moran. Mr. Riddle says they shut it down, roadblocks, and that's my hometown. I think this weekend, Mr. Thad, I think this weekend going to be real heavy. You're going to see some heavy stuff come out in the news and go down in your selective communities, family. And get this information to us, y'all. Like, come back to this specific live chat tonight. Post any kind of information you come across that you know that CNN is not covering. And I told y'all about CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. These are what you call headline journalism channels. They don't report real, investigative journalism. They don't literally go out and investigate. They may have one or two shows where they do investigative journalism. When somebody giving you news need to be unbiased. It shouldn't be biased. It should just be give it to you straight raw. You're getting it fresh off the press. You can see the video going, and they basically get the reporter to report on the video, not pop up, make clips about 10 seconds long, and then the commentator come in. Well, actually, what Trump was trying to say, y'all, in this video, Trump was saying, hey, he's going to, you don't hear it come out of a person's mouth. Do not let somebody put a spin on or a narrative onto your journalism. Make sure you get the truth and the facts for yourself. That's why I don't watch those channels. I go and get my news from alternative media sources such as online media, and I make sure that I check my references and make sure I got the same story saying the same subject matter at least 3 or 4 times, so it can be a reference or a source that I can use to inform the family on. Yes, Mr. Johnson says Trump wants everyone to think he's actually dumb, but he's very intelligent. Now, I think so. Like I said, Mr. Johnson, I never met a stupid or dumb millionaire. I mean, sometimes, man, y'all got to understand people play chess. They may want you to think they're one way, but they're really something else. And that's just how a lot of high-powered people act, man. You'll never get to see who they really are, man. That's like with me. When I was young, man, I was kind of a cool dude. I speak to everybody, this and that. But as far as letting everybody get inside my circle, man, I didn't get down like that, man. And I'm still the same way now. That's why a lot of people think I live out of town. I live right here in town. And people think that I'm out of town. Yes. Okay. Mr. Johnson says the networks are completely biased. Exactly. They paid for it. It's three rich families on all the networks in America. Remember that, y'all. Okay, Ms. Gray says, if we notice, Ghana offered Black Americans a piece of land 3 years ago for a reason. Superstars went over last year because they knew things were coming to a head. Yes, y'all, if you're not paying attention, I'm gonna calm down for a minute. Hold on, family. Thanks for joining us today, Ms. Rodriguez. Ms. Gray says, we got to learn the research so we don't be left behind. Y'all got to take this serious, y'all. This is more than a virus, y'all. Go and look at your 401k right now, family. Go look at your bank statement. Your bank is going to start charging you to let your money sit in the bank. So you got $5,000 in there. They're going to charge you negative interest on the money. You know what that means? Negative interest means I charge you for every $1,000 you put in the bank, I charge you 5%. So I get to make money off of your money just sitting in my bank. Do that make any sense? Well, that's where we're heading. That's where we're heading. That's why the feds came out. You see the Federal Reserve keep coming out, dropping the rate. Now, what it's going to do, it's going to definitely make prices of goods and services cheaper. You notice the gas. Gas is about $1.50 a gallon now. I don't know if you're paying attention. But, I mean, it's so convenient now because we don't really have anywhere to go. And also, you're going to notice the groceries and stuff going to start. The price of groceries is going to start coming down too, family. Things are about to correct, man. If you're in the right place and you're in the right mind, set at this, and when this thing go down, you could be you can get some lucrative benefits behind this. But if you're around here still waiting on Democrats to make laws for you and think they're going to look out for you and you think they're going to fight Trump for you and you think that Biden is on your side and that Biden ain't responsible for most of your young brothers and sisters right now locked up in the jailhouse, abortion laws and all of that, man, that is exactly what their agenda is. Their agenda is basically a anti-procreation agenda. That's why they heavily promote LGBT, because they understand when two LGBT citizens get together, they cannot produce offspring. You cannot produce offspring. I repeat, you cannot produce offspring when you LGBT. So, hey, it's more to LGBT than a sexual preference, family. It's a lot behind that. Yes, go look at Margaret Sanger and some of these feminists like your Me Too movement and all of that. All of them are behind that. And most of that comes out of the Democratic Party. I cannot reiterate this enough. There's no way you could tell me to pick my poison and then I'm going to sit there and pick my poison. If I pick the Republicans, I'm picking poison. If I pick the Democrats, I'm picking poison. So you're going to tell me I got to pick the lesser of two evils? That's what my political preference should be? Come on. Population control. Yes, Miss Gray. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. And we're going to come back at y'all again in the morning, y'all. We're gonna wind this call down. Make sure if you got any information, family, you bring it right here to Urban Matters Matter live chat, and we're going to chop it up, and we're going to see what's going on, and we're going to get down to the bottom of what's going on with this coronavirus. A regular flu virus that has mutated, and you telling me I still have not met one person besides the same entertainers and sports moguls that I see on TV every day. Did y'all hear about Scarface? Scarface came out and said he has a coronavirus. Slim Thug came out and said he has a coronavirus. Brother out of Texas. Why are there not any politicians coming out speaking on the coronavirus? The only people I see coming out is Trump and Pence. Well, the rest of the senators and representatives. Nobody is giving us any answers. Please let me know if I'm not tripping, family. But I have not seen Nancy Pelosi have been on TV 3-4 days in a row, and I have yet to hear her break down what this coronavirus really is. They're talking about that stimulus plan, but they're not talking about this virus. They're not talking about how they can help Trump get some of these ventilators. They're not talking about how they can help our medical family loved ones, how to get these face masks and vaccines and help our people stay safe. The military I'm quite sure the military got over millions and millions of gas masks that they have in the military field. Why can't we get a hold of those gas masks that our military own? Come on, y'all. Wake up, man. Wake up, man. I'm telling you, family, look, on this chat, I'm going to get ready to start going heavy and hard. I'm going to be coming with some fire information. And if you got a weak mind, I'm telling you, you're going to get left behind. If you got the type of mind where somebody got a keyhole in your hands, you don't go back and fact check me, because I could be lying to you right now. I challenge you to check me on the facts that I post on this live chat. I challenge you, family. I challenge you to start doing things differently than the way we do them and getting our news from people like CNN and start using me as a preference for your news. The new black media, y'all. Urban Matters Matter live chat. Peace and love, family. Stay safe out there. If you see any military activity going on this weekend, please let us know here. If you see any type of roadblocks going on, please let us know. That's what that whole what's the name is about, family. The curfews. Notice they got all the curfews in the big major major cities like Orlando, Tampa, Atlanta, New York, because those are your epicenters. That's where the biggest populations are. So what they do, they give you the curfew so at night they can move the military equipment and you won't be able to see it and report it. I guarantee you, just listen at night, you hear a lot of helicopter activity, a lot of helicopter plane traffic, and you know our airlines are pretty much shut down. So where's this plane traffic coming from? They're preparing for something, family. And if you sleep, family, you're going to miss it. And you're going to be a victim. Yes, the most foreign travelers out of all Americans, correct. Ms. Cox says, I put $3,000 in the bank to pay bills. The bank would not allow me to finish paying my bills. What? When that happened, Ms. Cox? You say you put $3,000 in the bank to pay your bills. The bank would not allow you to finish. You got to break that down for us a little bit, Ms. Cox. Break that down a little bit for us, please. Please, before we sign off. Ms. Gray says, exactly. Thanks, Ms. Gray. I see it. Yes, it's a lot of military activity going on at night, y'all. Yes, especially in Orlando, Miss Gray said. Yes. They're doing it in the major areas around your waterways and mostly around they bring in a lot of stuff on the rail system. So if you see little tanks and stuff coming in on the railway systems, that's how they moving a lot of this military equipment. Oh, Miss Cox said today, you say you put $3,000 in the bank to pay your bills, and the bank would not allow you to finish what? And that happened today? What bank do you bank with, Miss Cox? I mean, I ain't trying to get any information too much, but we got to get this information out there. I would strongly advise you to go take all your money out of that bank then. Besides the bill money, leave that in there. What kind of bank won't let you pay your bills? What? Laura Gray says they are not releasing funds because they are lacking cash. Oh, I just said that. It's called a bank run. Look that up, y'all. She says she telling the truth. Miss Gray says you telling the truth, Miss Cox. The bank stopped me from using my card. What? You kidding me? Who do you bank with, Miss Cox? Wells Fargo. Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me. Wells Fargo. Listen, they had about 7 CEOs step down this year. It's a lot of backwards. It's a lot of janky stuff going on with Wells Fargo, man. They on some janky stuff right now, man. Man. Mr. Rideau said they want to get their loan 0% for a year. After that, 12%. Yeah, correct. Appreciate that insight, Mr. Rideau. Miss Gray says that's why I told folks take their money out the bank 2 weeks ago. Miss Gray says she told y'all to take your money out the bank. Family, this is not a drill. This is the actual factual truth right now. Miss Cox said they will not let her do what she want to do with her money right now. Miss Gray, I am lying, Eddie Red Sanchez. What she say? I am lying, Eddie Red Sanchez. Okay, that's what I told folks. But oh yeah, but I know you said it, Miss Gray, because I've been saying it, and you probably done heard me say it. Yes, go take your money out the bank, y'all. If you got any savings, go take that out, man. Just keep you some money in your checking account to pay your bills, man. Go take all your 401ks, cash them in. Think about it. They're only going to penalize you probably to be $1,500 to $3,000 of a penalty. Family, that's better than you losing $30,000 in 3 days. Then you can go take that money and put it back in the 401k if they ever exist again. But I'm telling you, from the information that I have been gathering, family, about the last 6 years, the bank system, as you know it, is going out. Why do you think they're coming up with all this stuff like Bitcoin, gold money, the Fed coin? The dollar bill is going to be non-existent. Trust me on this, family. Trust me on this. I'm telling you, I will drop the receipts on this live feed later on tonight if you don't think if you think I'm playing. If I'm not serious, I'm lying, I'm flying. I'm telling you, I've been following this with the banks. Wells Fargo, another bank out of Germany called Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank owns Wells Fargo, and Deutsche Bank filed bankruptcy, a bank that filed bankruptcy 2 years ago in Germany, and they own Wells Fargo and Bank of America. I'm not playing about this, family. Eddie Red Sanchez said, Miss Gray, you right. How you doing, Miss Smith? Thanks for joining us here, Urban Matters Matter Live Chat. Family, I'm going to sign out, but I'm going to get back with y'all first thing in the morning. Y'all get your coffee right, because I'm going to have some heavy stuff for us in the morning. So I'm signing off right now, family. I love you. Just stay safe. Stay out of the streets, family. Please always pick up canned goods. If you got to go to the store, make sure you pick up some canned goods. And you pick up your about 2 weeks of at least non-perishable items like water, jugs of water, even juice jugs, so you can empty those out, fill those up with water so you can have something to wash your hand and face. Because you just never know what these folks are going to do. I'm telling you, man. We've been putting our faith in the wrong people when we should have been putting our faith in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You know how black folks are. We have the savior syndrome. We think this, we stuck on this idea of a savior busting out the sky to come save us when he probably already done bust out the sky and then gave us the power to save ourselves. And he done came and left, and we still around here waiting for some signs that some Europeans done wrote in a book and told us that, you know, this is how it's gonna go down. It's impossible. It's impossible for a European to tell me what my savior supposed to look like and how my savior supposed to sound and how my savior gonna come. So that's what it is, family. It's Urban Matters Matter live chat. And we'll be coming back at you again. We're going to finish talking about this coronavirus, family. And if you got any information about what your bank policies are, if your banks are changing their policies, that is very valuable information to bring to this live chat. And I would very much love to hear it. So y'all let me know. We sign it off. Peace and love.